the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014. There's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Swift to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Throwing, Jones. Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the return will stop right around the 25.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a 1st down now, playing behind the sticks.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Swift going to try up the middle. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And oh, it'll be intercepted. picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Tackle made that time by Aleem McNeil. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Jones. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Finding room at midfield, and he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the 1st quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Darnold. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18. No score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the end around, here comes Williams. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 15 now. Darnold. That is caught inside the 5. And the Lions are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From the 2, here's 1st and goal. Swift. is in for a Lions touchdown. So, partner, was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. The Giants at 4 and 5, a game under 500. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset, being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
A 1st down carry for Barkley.
You ain't going nowhere.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jones. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Lions are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique, and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
On first down, it's Darnold. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
24-yard gain on the play. First down, Lions.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On first down, Darnold. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On second down, Swift. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Azeez Ojulari make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends of what we've seen so far.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half end.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Patterson now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Jack Fox to kick off the Lions.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
To try again after the sack. Jones looking for Shepard deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Lions are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, now we look at the defense. They came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
He's got the 1st down and more. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
A final shot before the break. Darnold. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions would extend their lead here just before halftime. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove, they're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Off play action. Jones. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw. Jones. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's it.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. And that will be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Ready.
4th down. Here's Taylor. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
That's good for a Giants. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Okay, so this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Barkley. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. From midfield now, here's Taylor. It's complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Complete to number 21. A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 40 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't it?
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now Taylor to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Third and long, it's Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 41.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Down to the 25. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's a toss play right to Swift. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator is going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Once again, it's Swift. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Darnold. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 22.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
On 2nd and 12, Taylor flush to his right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Taylor. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. Now the ball comes loose, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now it's Swift.
He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power, but not a ton to show for it.
And the tackle there by Micah McFadden.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation,
a throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, we've seen quarterbacks get away with throwing the ball on the run, no doubt. But this, Charles, I think you'd agree, not the best of throws.
And listen, you're not always going to have a clean pocket to step up with the proper mechanics and deliver the football. I mean, that's a given. But you also have to understand your limits and know what you can get away with and what you can't when you're trying to make a throw like that.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. He's airing it out for Williams. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete. Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He's got this complete to Williams. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Detroit, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action